What's up, y'all? Yeah, forgot to take the lens cap off. Anyway, this is a 2-for-1 video. I'm going to show you how to prepare a cutting to be shipped. And I'm also going to show you what to do when you get your cutting, if you're receiving cuttings from someone. And how to know if you know what I'm saying, you got good cuttings or not. Okay, so this is a mulberry branch. Come to find out, I bought mulberries, and my neighbor across the street has a mulberry tree, and yeah, so I bought mulberries for nothing. Anyway, so I just cut this literally 2 minutes ago. So this piece is a little over 2 feet, and you can see it's got several branches on it. So what I'm gonna show you how to do first is basically how to prepare this if you was to ship this. So you cut one end, and if you were gonna ship this to someone, you would want to, let me get out of the light. You'd want to cut off all these little limbs. Now, this is kind of long, right? Well, let me cut off all the limbs first, then take. Alright, so that's all the limbs. There's leaves up there, right? So now we left with a stick and a few leaves. The next thing you want to do is take these leaves off. I'm going to tell you why you're going to take the leaves off. And I'm really doing this video because there's a lot of misinformation. I see misinformation in the comment sections, and different people think they know what they're talking about and they don't. They've never taken a botany class a day in their life, so they have no clue. And they haven't researched it on the internet, yet they get in a comment like they're experts. Not saying I'm an expert. I'm just saying I paid over $300 for a botany class. I think I know what I'm talking about, or at least I should, unless I just like wasting money. So anyway, what happens is when you leave those leaves on during transport, plants do a process what's called transpiration. Transpiration means moisture that comes up this stem into the leaves. The leaves do photosynthesis. Well, when they do photosynthesis, they release a tiny amount of water. There are actually pores in the leaves that are, if I'm not mistaken, they're called stomas. And those pores in the leaves are just like the pores in your skin. They transfer oxygen, they release water, they do all that. Just like how we sweat, your skin has pores, your skin doesn't transfer a whole lot of oxygen, but your skin can absorb things like water, oils, lotion, etc., things like that. Same thing for the leaves. Okay, so when you ship this and you got all them leaves on there, it's sucking all the water out of the stem. And what do you want the stem to do? You want the stem to hold as much water and moisture as it can so it can stay alive, because it's no longer connected to the tree. It's just like I heard some misinformation to something disrupt the cambium or something, and because the limb still thinks it's attached to the tree. No, lies. Trees are just like humans. If you cut your arm off, I assure you, your hand does not think it's still attached to your body. I assure you it doesn't. Once you cut it, it knows. For instance, see when I cut, well, earlier I could see it better, but when you cut those limbs, you'll see sap coming out of them immediately. That's the plant trying to heal itself. It's just like when you bleed, immediately it's trying to heal itself. It does not think it's still connected. So with that little bit of information out the way, now this is too long to get into a reasonable package. So what you want to do is now you want to look at the nodes. Here's the node here. Here's one here. Pretty much everywhere there was a branch or a limb coming out, that's what's called a node. So you want to leave, I'd say 2 or 3 nodes. 1, 2, there's one on this other side. 3, 4, cut it right there. Then for this one, there are quite a few nodes. If you see some old buds, those are nodes too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm not going to cut that super short because you don't want your cuttings. You can take a cutting that short, but it's kind of tedious. You don't want it that short. So I'm going to cut it there. So we just took that and made 3 cuttings out of it. Now what you're going to do is, once you have your cuttings like this, and I'm not going to show this part, but I'm going to explain it. Once you have your cuttings like this, take wet paper towels, wrap this completely, all the way. The ends, everything. Because once again, what we're trying to do, we're trying to keep this moist. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to keep it moist. So you want to wrap this whole thing in paper towels, and then you want to come back behind it with plastic. It doesn't matter what kind of plastic. It could be saran wrap, it could be a Walmart bag, it could be just anything plastic. But you want to wrap it, and if you need to put rubber bands or string or something on it to keep, like say for instance you don't use saran wrap, use a bag. Take your saran wrap and stuff, your string or your rubber bands, wrap it around there to keep the plastic in contact so that the paper towels stay wet. Put this in your package and ship it. Now, when you open your package, and I'm going to tell you, that's how you know you got some cuttings from somebody who really knows something about cuttings, when you get them like that. Because I've gotten cuttings both ways on eBay before. I've gotten cuttings with leaves and stuff still on them, and I'm like, oh, God. Because the last thing you want to do as a person shipping this stuff out, you want your stuff to live. You know what I'm saying? You want to give it the best opportunity possible. This is how you do that. Take all leaves off, wrap in moist paper towels, wrap in plastic, and it should stay moist. Now, can't guarantee how the post office run or whoever you shipped it through, but hopefully it'll stay moist. That's the proper way to do it. Now, when you get said cuttings, they should come wrapped. You want to unwrap them. You have them laying out like this. And I'm going to show you what I do. Now, there's a lot of different ways you can do this. Some people love using straight perlite and all that kind of stuff. Y'all know me. I'm a little bit more sustainable than that. I don't really believe in buying all this different stuff. This is my compost. See how loose it is? Now, it's not super moist right now because we haven't had rain in a while. But you can see this stuff does not, it don't matter. Even if I get it wet, see, it'll hold a little bit, but then it lets go. Now, this is how my compost is. If y'all the ones that thumbs down my compost video and you making concrete for compost, don't use your compost. I guess not everybody's compost is made equal. I'm not sure what y'all composting, but yeah, if it's not loose like this, then don't use it. But this just a regular pot, right? It's a regular Bonnie pot. Now, I am going to do something I never recommend you do, but I'm finna do it right now for the sake of the length of the video. I'm just gonna put some water in this from the hose bib. I never use hose bib water, y'all. Never. I never use hose bib water. I always use rainwater. But like I said, for the sake of the length of the video, I don't feel like walking to the back to go get rainwater. So I just want to let that get sufficiently wet. It'll start dripping out the bottom. Look at Kenny under the car. Kenny Benny. He is so silly. Alright, so what we want to do is, this is damn, you don't have to water it first. You can put your sticks in first. I'm gonna actually do an experiment. And I'll show y'all the results. I'm not gonna use rooting hormone. Now, remember the nodes I talked about? The nodes is where your roots are usually gonna come from. Sometimes you'll get nodes out of the bottom, sometimes you won't. But like I said, plants are just like humans. If you cut yourself, what's the first thing your body does? It bleeds first. Blood actually tries to clean out the wound. I'm not saying it's perfect at it, but it tries. Blood actually has antiseptic properties to it. It's not perfect. I'm not saying just because you bleeding, you all right. What I'm saying is, that's measure number one. Measure number two is your body will then grow cells to heal itself, right? Repair itself. This plant will do the same thing. In the cambium layer, there are hormones and different things in it that'll tell it, hey, this got cut off. Because this happens in nature. Trees get smashed in nature. Limbs get ripped off in nature. And what do? Hit the ground. And then they root. So this is a very natural process. So I'm not going to use any rooting hormone. What I'm going to do is, these nodes, I'm going to bury at least 2 of them. Now you get roots that come out of, I don't know if you can see these little spots. You'll get roots that come out of those little spots too sometimes. But yeah, I'm just going to shove that in like that. And I'm going to leave this up here open. Now you see these buds? Those will basically start to grow, like when it starts to take, those should open up and leaves come out. So I'm gonna stab this in, stab it about 2 nodes down. I'm gonna stab this one in about 2 nodes down. All right. So we're gonna do an experiment on them. Now these I cut off over here. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna come back and show them to you. But on these, I'm gonna use rooting hormone. So I'll be back in just a second. All right, we back, people. So let me show you what we're gonna do. These bottom ones, we're just gonna take the leaves completely off. The one at the top, we're gonna cut it. Now, I realize, hold on, y'all. All right. I realized that I'm gonna do the same thing we did before. Shove that down in the dirt. Oh, we're supposed to be using rooting hormone. Let me get my rooting hormone. It's not too late, people. It's not too late. I forgot this was an experiment. I'm gonna be honest, you'll learn that some plants you don't need rooting hormone, and others will benefit from rooting hormone. Some things root real easily, such as figs and mulberries. Trying to get my rooting hormone out. Alright. I'm gonna be honest and tell you, figs and mulberries, I never use rooting hormone. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of product. Because they're like weeds. They're like elderberry. There's no need of you using rooting hormone. They root too easily. Like, that's just what they do. Because like I said, in nature, they naturally have incidents where they get wounded or whatever, and they will root themselves on the ground if limbs break off, what have you. Yeah, like I said, I'm just gonna, and this is for, say you're not one-handed Sally here. Alright. Yeah, you know what? Since I'm destroying the leaf anyway, let's just take said leaf off. Rooting hormone, stab in ground. We'll see if that one grows a leaf. We'll see if which one roots faster. Because they claim they will root faster if they're able to do a little bit of photosynthesis. It kind of pushes the process along, because that leaf is trying to do photosynthesis in order to help this, give it energy to create the roots, right? Because it takes energy to create the roots. Now see, I could make 2 cuttings out of that, but I'm not even gonna do it. I know I should be wetting this first, so perhaps I should. That way a little bit more will stick, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like I said, these are mulberries. And let's see, we'll leave the other one with the full leaf on. We won't cut it. So just to moisten that a little. I know y'all gonna say, you're getting dirty in your rooting hormone. And it'll be alright. It's not rocket science, people. There you go. So these are my little experiments, and I will keep you updated on how that goes. And if this doesn't work, this video will never see the light of day. Oh, by the way, let me mention where you should put them. So when you get done doing this process, put them in a, you want to put them in a shady spot, somewhere where they're not getting direct sunlight. You don't want them to get direct sunlight. That's going to be too harsh for them. So I'm putting them under this bush right here, where it stays shady. I actually might move it over there. But yeah, I'll tell you how those go. And no, I'm not going to put the bag thing over the top. I know people do that for humidity. It does help keep the moisture in. It does do that. But I haven't found that it really improved my success rating. Not for me. So I don't do it anymore. It's just more hassle. So I'll keep you updated on the mulberries. Hope that helped you. You got any questions, comments, concerns, leave them in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe. Till next time, see you guys later.